So maybe you've just got your first manager role, or you're transferring into a new team or a new company. So this video is a bit of a refresher about some of the top skills that you need to develop as a manager and how they'll make you more effective. So the first skill is communication, and that means both written and verbal. Much of the skill of a good manager is being able to cut through complicated and complex information and make messages to the team and to your clients really succinct and clear. So being able to have a good communication style will set you in good stead. So think about developing one-pager report formats, clear emails, and making sure that you're really succinct and confident when you speak to clients and your team. The second skill is around people, and I always say that without clients and staff, my job would be really easy, but those two things are a complicating factor. And 100% of the people that you deal with will respond better if you've got a good and natural style and you can build rapport with them easily. So making sure that you're working effectively on your people skills and put them as a top priority. Sometimes as managers, we can become overwhelmed with the number of tasks we have to do and become a bit head down and focus on getting the work done. So making sure that you're putting your relationships with your team and your clients first will just make sure that you're building rapport on a regular basis and people like dealing with you. The third skill to nurture is that of self-management. And actually you might think getting to manager is one of the best things, as you don't really have as much direct supervision anymore, but sometimes that can actually make your life more difficult because there isn't someone telling you what to do all the time. So becoming self-managing and making sure that you're picking not only what is easy but what is right, both for you and the team and the wider organisation you work for, is really important. So making sure that you're consciously thinking about your own performance and your own weaknesses will help you develop further. One of the areas that's often not talked about is actually how much you have to manage your boss as well as the team that you're managing below you. And that's why management can be such a difficult strata in an organisation, because you have pressure from those above you who may not understand the daily pressures or the way things work in practice, and your employees below you which think that you have the answer to everything and will come to you with their problems. So managing your relationships upwards and downwards, including how you can delegate upwards when you need your boss to get involved, again is another skill that you need to think about, and making sure that you've built the relationship with your boss to escalate things when you need to, but also that you've got the confidence to do so and you don't feel like you're just running to them with every problem. The fifth area is thinking about developing your own leadership style. Most of us at some time have had a good manager or a bad manager, and what you need to do is collect the best skills from all of those people to help develop your own leadership style. I've got another set of videos around different types of leadership styles, be it transformational, transactional, situational. So check out those if you want to learn more. But thinking about your own leadership style and making the most of your own strengths and minimising your weaknesses. Spending time working on yourself through self-development Working on yourself and your own development may feel like another thing to do on the to-do list, or that you don't really have time, or that you'd get a better investment in spending that time developing your staff. Although it may feel like that, it's not actually true in the long run, and being able to develop your own leadership style and understand how you can do things better is really important. Next is an area which you probably will have worked on when you were more junior in the team, but that's around your productivity and time management. It's really important that as a manager that you keep spaces of time in your day and your week to deal with emergencies. If you plan to do a full day of work, it doesn't give you any contingency when the boss drops something on your desk or your team comes to you with a problem. Much of management is firefighting and reacting to the priorities of others. So if you block out all of your day on your own work, you're not going to have time to deal with that unless you stay extra hours or fit in work in the evenings and the weekends. So what I tend to do is schedule 5 to 6 hours work a day, and that leaves me a couple of hours to deal with unexpected client calls, issues that pop up, or just generally give me a bit more flexibility in my day to make sure that I can get the core tasks done and respond to the needs of my team. The next, which is actually quite a difficult skill to develop, is that of creative problem solving. Like I said before, much of what comes to you is other people's problems, be that your clients, your teams, or your bosses. So making sure that you think about problems in a creative way will help you manage problem solving easier and make sure you're getting the best solutions quickly for you and the team. The next area is marketing skills, and you might say, oh, well, that doesn't relate to me, I don't work in a sales role, but actually much of what you will need to do is to build up the profile of your team and yourself, and you may well have some client interactions as well. So understanding the basics of marketing and how to promote yourself effectively, and the work of your team to make sure that you're well regarded and perceived as high performing. The next area, which is probably one you've experienced on one side of the table but not the other, is that around job search and interview skills. Much of your success as a manager is about building a good and effective team around you. So it's understanding how to select the best people at interviews and also understand how they will fit into the team. So try to avoid questions which are just about process or how people would do things. So try to tease out from them their experiences, their preferred ways of working, their strengths and weaknesses during the interview process to allow you to assess if they're actually going to fit into your team. And you don't just have to offer off the back of a straight interview. You can ask them to come and have a coffee with the team or come to a team meeting and actually see how they interact with others rather than just impress you at interview. I've met some really impressive candidates who can promise the earth and seem really great at interview, but actually when you get them into the work situation, they don't quite live up to their own hype. So developing your skill set to weed out those people and understand exactly what you need from your team members will help you not only keep your existing team happy when they're not upset by a new person coming in, but also make sure that when you hire people and allow you to onboard those individuals more successfully. And the final tip is around managing your own career. You may think that now you're a manager, you've made it, and of course, if you want to sit at that grade, that's absolutely fine. But there may well be elements of you that wants to develop, move further on throughout the organisation, or indeed a different type of organisation. So making sure you're keeping one eye on your career, as well as those team members around you, will just allow you to be a bit more strategic, to say yes and no to different projects, to prioritise the things that are really going to make you stand out or give you new experiences, and ultimately help drive your career in a more strategic way. One way you can do this is by building in regular time for self-development, and I've got a separate video which I'll link in the description below on that. I hope you found those useful. I'd love to hear from you. What were the big surprises when you became a manager? What was the skill set you wish you'd worked on before you did that? Or perhaps if you're currently a manager, what you might be struggling with or where the challenges are. I post videos twice a week on a Wednesday and a Sunday and generally focus on productivity, time management, leadership and development. So if you want to hear from me regularly, hit like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. My name's Liz, and on my channel we give you the tips, tricks and hacks to help you navigate your career.